Pregame.com.
Welcome back, guys. We're going to take a look at another NFL game. It's the San Diego Chargers against the New York Jets. Steven, I'm going to take the lead on this one. This is going to be a free pick for me. It's not my best bet, but I do have an opinion here. This line opened up as the Jets, a 1-point favorite, and it immediately got bet to San Diego as the favorite. Now, normally we talk about and say early money is sharp money and that. I'm going to buck it. I'm sorry. This is a situation where I just believe public perception. They've been in love with San Diego for I don't know how many years. This is supposed to be the year. This is supposed to be the year. How many years is it supposed to have been? I mean, they've supposed to have been a Super Bowl contender every year since the year they fired Schottenheimer when they went 14-2. I don't like the San Diego Charger team. They've not shown me enough. Now, the one benefit they've got in this game is they are coming off a bye. I will give them that. But the flip side to that, you got a West Coast team traveling east, playing a 1 o'clock game. You've got, and I'll double check that, but I don't think this is a 4 o'clock game. The other thing you got, 1 o'clock game. You also have, the Jets are coming off the Monday night game, and a lot of times people say short week, that's a distraction. I just think that the Jets, they won on Monday. It wasn't overpowering. I mean, let's face it. Miami, it could have been just as much as Miami beating Miami than it was the Jets beating the Jets. The Jets won the game comfortable, don't get me wrong, 24-6. But watching the game, it wasn't like a backyard beating that they just totally dominated the game. I'm looking at their schedule, and I'm looking at San Diego's schedule. Tell me where the Chargers only have one loss, but where is their signature win on their schedule?
Where's the Jets' signature win? They haven't beaten a winning team yet.
Well, they beat Dallas, which Dallas is better than the record for sure.
Okay.
Dallas should have beat them in that game, though. I will admit that. Mm-hmm. But look at the other teams they've played. They played a 3-game stretch all on the road where they went to Oakland, Baltimore, and then New England.
All in a row, yeah.
All in a row. All 3 of those teams right now are, you've got 2 division leaders and 1 team that's in the thick of the things in the AFC West. The Raiders, obviously, a much improved ball club. They're playing great ball this year. I just feel they've played a much tougher schedule. San Diego's beaten Minnesota, Kansas City, Miami, and Denver. They're not good ball clubs. I think this is an overreaction to the San Diego. And if you remember, the 2 weeks prior to the bye, when they played Miami at home and they played Denver on the road, these same sharps that made this line move to San Diego early in the week, they also bet against San Diego in both of those games, taking Miami and taking Denver, and they were wrong in both of those games on the closing number. They didn't cover again. San Diego was the right side against Miami. Remember the line came down that week on Miami? And then against Denver, the line opened up like 5.5 or 6. They were betting Denver like it was free money, taking the home dog. They got it all the way down to 3.5, and San Diego won by 5 when they kicked that late field goal. So they really haven't had a handle on San Diego. So I'm not worried about bucking them.
Well, I don't have an opinion on this game. I'll say this right off the bat. But I will say that San Diego is in a fortuitous spot with their bye coming when it did in this. Now, byes, especially this year, have been overrated. However, this bye kind of negates the travel factor. Chargers going West Coast to East Coast with an early start time. That's usually very negative for a West Coast team. So that's kind of negated by their bye. The bye also allowed them to get healthy. Ryan Matthews was banged up. Antonio Gates was banged up. Vincent Jackson was banged up. They all should play. Matthews definitely, Jackson I think definitely, and I think Gates finally plays. He's healed up. Phillip Rivers has been less than explosive than he's been in the past because of these injuries. I think he gets these weapons back. They're a very dangerous team. As you mentioned, they're looking for a signature win, going into New York and beating the Jets. And now there's some bad blood because of Rex Ryan and Norv Turner kind of getting into a verbal spat. Jets really, I think their defense has been very overrated this year. Their secondary is good, but the front seven hasn't played nearly. Their defensive front seven has been nearly as effective as a lot of people thought it would be. Mark Sanchez, I don't care what he says, he's not an elite quarterback. He's not close to being an elite quarterback. I don't know how healthy Nick Mango is, their center. He's kind of the key to their ground game, and they really need a strong ground game to set up Sanchez. So this is why, Marco, I really kind of just watching this game rather than getting involved. I want to just see how good San Diego is, if they get these weapons back. I want to see how good the Jets are, because this is a desperate situation. They really need to win this game. They cannot keep falling games back. You know, they're probably already going to not have a chance in the division with the Patriots in there in that AFC East, but now you're talking a wild card. So it's, I think, a much bigger game for the Jets.
Oh, I agree with you. The Jets do have their backs against the wall. I said one of the negatives is coming off the Monday night game. An interesting stat, though, on the Jets. Following playing on Monday night, the last 18 times the Jets have played on Monday night, they're 14-4 against the spread the following week.
Well, that sounds good, but how often do they play on Monday night? Once a year, you know, twice a year? So it's pretty spread out.
Absolutely, but you know, it's better than them being 4-14. So
it's good to pad the write-ups with stuff like that.
Well, you know, when it suited me, I brought it out. If it was the other way around, I wouldn't have mentioned it. This is a situation. I'm going to go with the Jets off the Monday night game. Ugly win, maybe, but situation is when you get the win, sometimes it doesn't matter. You get a win, you get a little bit of confidence, you build on that momentum. I'm just not sold on the San Diego Chargers. And for this to go from a 1-point dog to a 2-point favorite, that's a 3-point move, you know, in the NFL. Now, it's the least effective move because it's, you know, you're talking about the point spread, no matter if they were +1 or -2, the chance of the point spread being a factor in the games, you got to pick the winner. So, you know, it's not a big deal that it's actually a 3-point move because it's dead numbers that it's moving around. But I like the Jets. I'm going to call for the Jets to win the game outright, 26-23 New York Jets. Just a regular play, not my best bet. My best bet will be in the college. We'll have that in another video. We're going to be back with one more NFL game. Just want to mention, check out the forums. You can check out pregame forums. A lot of good conversation, Stephen, in there. We've got guys all around the country that, you know, are just average guys formatted, but they talk about their teams, you know, in their area. And a lot of times you can pick up some good information. I know, like in college this past weekend when I was leaving the house this morning, Griff, a good poster, put in there about a player, I think it was for Vanderbilt, the center is going to be suspended for the first half of the game. These are kind of things that, you know, when you're in the area, you know your team's better than anybody else. It's a great place, good hub to find information that you might overlook.
To have a posting forum of that quality is huge. To have those kind of posters who are knowledgeable about the different parts of the country where they are. It's almost, if I could give a suggestion, set up a glossary where you list the poster and say what his expertise is, or he can write it, say what his expertise is. Like, I know I'm in Nashville, I know Vanderbilt, you know, and here's my record or something. And that way you don't have to kind of sift around and look at some other things. You can just go right to where you want to.
Well, I'll let you suggest that to RJ.
Okay.
But check out the pregame forums. It's free. A lot of information there. Hey, we're going to be right back with another video.